So this story was sent in by a woman who had a really, really scary experience as a teenager with her mum. So, she lives in America. Her mum and her dad had always been really keen on camping. They'd planned this camping trip in a place they'd actually been to a few times before, up in the mountains. And her dad was like, I can't get off work until 2 days later. So he was like, right, you guys go ahead without me and I'll meet you there. So the mum, knowing the place, was absolutely fine with that. So her and her daughter packed everything up and set off on the camping adventure. So they stop at a gas station, which is a few miles away from the campsite. Now, she explains that her mum, she knows a lot of people, and on this particular day, she was stood talking to someone she knew at the gas station, and that conversation ended up involving two guys who were like, oh, you're going up to the camping? And she was like, yeah. And it was like, oh, cool, have a great time. That was that. So they get there and they set everything up, and the area where they are is quite isolated, but that's how they like it. So they've had the food and they're going to get comfortable for the night. Now, the woman explains that being a teenager, she don't remember what time it were. It was just maybe a couple of hours after they'd gone to sleep, and she woke up to clearly hearing muffled voices, what sounded like two men, and footsteps around the tent. So she shoves her mum awake. Her mum's a light sleeper. She wakes up and she just for a moment sits there. They're both frozen in fear. But then her mum thinks quick. She shouts at the top of her voice her husband's name. Quick, get the gun. There's people outside the tent. Obviously her husband's not there. There's no weapon. But thinking quick, it wasn't safe for her to get out of the tent alone. She shouted it as loud as she could, and no sooner had she said it, she hears footsteps running away from the tent. In the distance, she can hear doors slam and the car speeding away. She rings her husband up. He comes out there, helps them pack up and move to another place. I cannot even imagine what her and her daughter would have gone through had she not thought on her feet like that. And what if that had not even worked?